Choo choo! Welcome in, everyone, for the last stop on the Lady Arcader's 4-year anniversary raid train. Welcome back to the station where you started 72 hours ago. We have had over 35 members of our wonderful community participating in 2-hour segments as we raised money for our upcoming in-person event, Out of Bounds 3. Did you know we have merch specifically for this year's raid train? The collection was designed by my serval, inspired by a skit written for this year's Bests of 2025 awards, written by Professor Birch and produced by Sweet Peeb. So let the world know that video games should be about nothing by typing !merch in chat. Now, we've had some amazing showcases over the last 72 hours and a lot of Pokemon. So today we have decided that we are closing out our wonderful raid train with a Pokemon Run and Bun Brawly. Run and Bun is widely considered to be one of the hardest Pokemon ROM hacks ever created. People commonly spend months working just to complete the game, so Forgiven has decided to speedrun it for us, because they're just awesome like that. Many hours were spent finally crafting a specific route to be able to beat Brawly, the game's first gym leader, in about 2 hours. So without further ado, let's pull into our final stop with Forgiven running Pokemon Run and Bun with Sapphire and Pink on comms. All aboard!
Hello everyone, I'm Forgiven. I'm super happy to be here to close out this raid train with a run of Pokemon Run and Bun, joined here by the wonderful Sapphire and Pink.
Choo choo. Hey, I'm Sapphire. I am qualified because I like Pokemon and I have played this game before.
Yeah, we have in fact played this game before. Super fun. Before we get started, we do have one thing. For any donations that come in during this run to help support Out of Bounds, I will be nicknaming a Pokemon after them. There are 8 Pokemon I'm going to be using in this run. It will be Piplup, Chinchou, Gossifleur, Croagunk, Scatterbug, Tyrogue, which will be a Hitmonlee, Togedemaru, and Gligar in that order. So get your donations in so that you can name one of these Pokemon. Without further ado, we have a bit of an intro to sit through, so let's get started. We'll start time once I start here in 3, 2, 1, go.
Yay!
Yippee!
Yay!
So to start off, to answer the question, what is Pokemon Run and Bun? Pokemon Run and Bun is a ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald that is basically a difficulty mod that kind of really pulls out the true essence of Pokemon battling. Makes it incredibly difficult. We are the girl, of course.
Let's go.
Heck yeah.
Let's go, girls.
Let's go, girls. Here we will be. That is us. Wonderful face
That
there.
is us.
So that is us right now. So basically, it does a lot of things. All the trainers in the game are basically mandatory. There is one optional trainer in this run that we're not going to go for because we don't need to worry about that. All the teams are updated. The game uses Gen 8 battle mechanics. And has Mega Evolutions, although we will not be seeing that in this run. So we're going to just go through the start of the game. This is all going to look very normal, and then we're going to pick our starter, which in this case is Piplup. And we'll get started. So...
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna talk a little bit about Run and Bun. Like, this is such an incredibly difficult game. There are, like, almost 400 handcrafted battles. Every single battle you run into is going to have like a gimmick, and they're going to have competitive items, competitive IVs, competitive moves. Every single mod has coverage. It took us almost like, it took us like what, like 9 months
Something like
to
that,
finish the game fully, and we weren't even like hardcore nuzlocking it. We were just playing through the game.
We were simply playing the game.
9 months, that's a long time.
Yeah, the trainers in this game, as we'll probably be saying a lot, are a little bit evil. And you'll see what we mean by that. Something that like the way that the game is structured, I guess, is whenever we get our first Pokemon here, we will be able to level it up to a certain level cap for certain sections of the game. So, for example, this first section of the game goes up to Petalburg Woods, where we fight an Aqua Grunt, and the maximum level of that trainer's Pokemon is 12. And so we'll be able to level up to 12 right away. And so kind of like per section, the difficulty will go up as we get closer to that trainer. Now, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to check my Piplup's stats. You can directly check IVs in this game. Wow. Wow. Okay. That will do.
Alrighty.
So, if you aren't familiar with what I was just looking at there, I was looking at the Pokemon's IVs. Basically, in this game, you can check Pokemon's actual, like, stats below the surface. IVs are basically a number that a Pokemon gets between 0 and 31 that will basically determine what number that stat is. Now, I am going to just quickly name this Piplup. We do have an opportunity to name it later if anyone still wants to nickname it, so that is still available.
Just so you know, everybody, get those donations in if you want to name our Pokemon, because, I mean, who doesn't want to name a little guy?
Who doesn't want to name a little guy? And we have a couple little guys to deal with. It is definitely one of the things that makes this game kind of unique in terms of speedrunning it, like, as a Pokemon game. Like, you can't really do the traditional thing that you would do in, like, a normal Pokemon game where you kind of just have, like, a main Pokemon. You kind of just, because of how difficult the trainers are, you have a lot of different coverage things to deal with, and so you kind of have to catch multiple Pokemon to be able to actually, like, compete with the trainers and stuff. So see, there's some stuff moved around here. We'll get into that in a little bit. I'm not going to talk to Brendan here because I'm gonna remember this, and so we're gonna level up our Piplup. Now, this is gonna seem like it's a little bit unfair. I promise you, it is not. And then after this, we'll be catching some of the Pokemon. Now, like I mentioned before, like, basically as we go through these different sections of the game, the trainers will get more difficult because their levels will be going up, right? They'll be getting closer to our levels, and so just by nature of that, they will be more difficult. There are going to be a couple of exceptions to this, and we'll get into that in a second. So, this is the easiest battle in the game. That's as easy as it's going to get.
L. Brendan. Why didn't he just level up his Pokemon with the endless candies that we all get?
Yeah, well, I mean, we all get them. Like, he's also
Skill
in the
issue.
first section of the game. He should be level 12, so... So we're gonna go back down here, and then we're gonna start catching some Pokemon.
Yay!
Yippee! It is definitely such an interesting experience. So, routing this game, I was kind of... It's like you can catch literally whatever you want, right? But Saf and I, the way that we had played this when we played this together was with kind of like Nuzlocke and counter rules. So like, we only get one Pokemon per route, whatever is the first thing we encounter. But it's so interesting to just be like, okay, what is actually like the most optimal thing to do here, because our experience was getting to a battle and going, I don't know if I have the stuff for this.
Oh, yeah, there were some really scary fights that we ran into. We were for sure, there were some encounters that I was not happy about.
Yeah, I mean, definitely one of my favorite types of experience that I had kind of playing through this was going through, because we would do our encounters at the same time. We were kind of playing alongside each other. And we would get an encounter, and one of us would get something really good, and the other one would get something really bad.
Yup. You would hear the cheer, and then all of a sudden it's just a aww.
So this guy gives us a fishing rod, which we will need for our first encounter here. No, one of the because there were so many encounters that were just like really split. I remember there was one specifically that I think it was the route just north of Mauville, and I think you got a Vibrava or something like that, and I got a Dwebble.
Yes. Yep, on our way to Route 111.
Yeah.
I got a Vibrava, which I got to level up into a Flygon, and then you got a Dwebble.
Yeah, and
but then it got repaid in kind because I also got a Dwebble.
This is
later
true.
On.
Yeah. Something. Oh, there we go. Something about the way that this game is laid out is that the way that this is going to be scary for a second. I'm sorry. The way that the Pokemon are like laid out in these routes is like to give you very specific Pokemon to give you things to deal with. Now, on each route, there's like a bunch of Pokemon. Like normally in Emerald, like most of these routes, it's like 40% Poochyena. If we don't have any donations, I will be naming this.
No, I don't have anything yet, but we'll have
We will have for now. But like, basically, oh, that's fast.
Let's go.
That is exactly what we're looking for. I'm just gonna throw a ball at this thing. But every Pokemon on these routes, like the maximum percentage you get for any given Pokemon is like, I'll play here. We'll see how this goes. There we go. No, like the maximum percentage you're gonna see for like any Pokemon on these routes is like 20%. Most of these Pokemon I'm looking for are like 10%, and so it does add a little bit of variance in like how fast I get them. For some reason, when I've been doing runs, Gossifleur has been actually so nice to me, which is great. We're getting another
I like to call that a little scrum. Just a little scrum.
Just a little.
Just a little one.
Just a little. So we're gonna heal here, and then we're gonna level up the other Pokemon that I have. This first route isn't gonna have a whole lot of stuff to worry about, at least for the first few trainers. We're gonna get a couple berries at the top of this route, which are gonna be important for later. But at the end of this route, there is what I would say is kind of like the first evil trainer of the run. Savta, do you want to talk about how silly this trainer is?
Yeah, so later on this route, we're gonna face against Lastina, whose whole gimmick is Metronome. It is as random as it can possibly get. It can be anything from she has a Swirlix and a Spinda, and they can do anything from Splash, which will do nothing, to Misty Explosion, which could explode you and ruin everything. It's especially scary if you're trying to Nuzlocke it, because genuinely it can pull from not every single Pokemon move, but it can pull from the vast majority of Pokemon moves, including the incredibly powerful signature moves of like legendary Pokemon.
Yeah, I definitely have had a moment playing through this where I saw a move and went, hey, what is that? which is saying quite a bit. I feel like I know most Pokemon moves, so if I see a new one, that's
yeah. I was gonna ask how much of specifically Emerald would you say you've played, and how much Pokemon in general would you say you've played?
All of it.
All of it.
All of
well,
it.
Okay.
While I haven't Nuzlocked this game specifically because that's too much. Nuzlocking, for those who are unaware, is basically just Pokemon permadeath. It's this game is like incredibly difficult. I think it might be just over 100 people that have completed this as a Nuzlocke.
Oh jeez.
And it's kind of ridiculous. People will they'll get to a big boss fight or something like that, and it will they'll take a week to just do calculations to prepare for it.
Yes.
Oh my.
I went and got the receipts. There are 89 people who have hardcore Nuzlocked Run and Bun officially on the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we had done an actual hardcore Nuzlocke, first of all, we might not have made it through, but it also would have added, assuming that we won everything and didn't actually die, we would have probably added another 6 months, I would say.
Yeah, we would not be done.
Calculation time.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Fight. Yeah, we sat down and we calculated the Elite Four, and that took us, I think, easily 12 hours for calculating 5
I think
fights.
I think it took me more, because we did 6 hours one session, and by the end of that we were just not really there mentally. And then we did another session that was a couple hours, and then I think I sat down by myself to figure out some things that I hadn't figured out yet. The Elite Four in this game is
scary.
Is something else. Okay, let's see if I am paralyzed here. Getting
and we went.
Okay, wait, hold on. We're back. Pluck is actually
the greatest move in the game.
Pluck is actually such a great move to have. Okay. We might. Yeah, we're neither. That's fine.
Goodbye.
Getting paralyzed by that is goodbye. Hello. Getting paralyzed there is kind of unlucky, but that's okay. Luckily, the Pokemon Center isn't that far away, so we can just go do that.
Yeah, and I will also say really quick, so you notice we picked up Chinchou and Gossifleur, and like we said, in a Nuzlocke of this game, you don't get to pick what your first encounter it is randomly generated. But these two are some incredible early game powerhouses, especially Chinchou, water electric typing, really good coverage, really good defensively, and can hit a lot of mons. And then Gossifleur is also just a pretty tanky Pokemon with an incredibly useful ability of Cotton Down, where every time you get hit, it will lower the opponent's speed.
Yeah,
and that's super useful for planning fights and making sure that you can outspeed mons later in the fight.
Yeah, it's incredibly important. I did have a moment when I was testing out routing, because Gossifleur has always been a part of the route. I think I routed this 3 separate times. But there was a time where I was because I was trying to consider all my options, right? I was is the ability proccing actually losing me time? It wasn't. It's actually that useful. Gossifleur also, by the time we get to Brawly, will be an Eldegoss, and that Pokemon is just so bulky. It's so good. It definitely is. I didn't check the IVs on either of them. I should probably do that after this battle. When I was doing calculations for this, I basically just put, because there's a calculator for this game that has all the trainers kind of already input in there.
Okay.
And I calculated everything with 0 IVs. So everything was basically as weak as it could possibly be. And Eldegoss just survives everything, which is very useful. especially later on. So first, we are going to get berries. 74 berries is actually quite a bit. Whenever you pull from one of these berry patches, in the base game, you're getting like 3 berries. But here they have it variable between, I think it's like 30 something and like 100. So we got a good pull with 74. This
Good.
is the evil trainer that we were talking about, Miss Metronome.
Oh, last Tiana. Hey girl.
Additionally, something about this Swirlix that is evil is that it has, so both these Pokemon have a berry juice, which you're about to see right here. It restores health. Oh, it doesn't, why doesn't that proc Unburden?
Oh.
So basically, this Swirlix has the ability Unburden, which basically means whenever it has an item and then it uses that item, its speed goes up. But it didn't proc, which, I mean, I'm not complaining about. Okay, I think luckily I was just using Fairy Wind, so I think we're fine here. The thing about the Spinda, though, the Spinda knows Fake Out and Metronome, and that's it. Fake Out is just a priority move that will always flinch. It's free chip damage. Alright, let's see what we got.
Let's see what we got. Uproar.
Okay, that one's bad.
It's not gonna hit Metronome again, though. It's stuck in Uproar.
I actually think that's worse.
That's
I actually
not
think
great.
That's kind of worse. Luckily, this is not a problem. This is the last ring on the route, so we'll be fine. Uproar is unfortunate because it is locking itself into specifically like a good damaging move. Like Saf mentioned before, it could do something as bad as Splash. But also it has the chance to do, one hit KO moves and stuff like that.
Okay.
Imagine Spinda Sheer Cold.
I haven't seen it yet, but it will happen. Someday it will happen. Recently it did Lunar Dance, I believe, which is Cresselia's signature move.
What?
That one was actually fortunate for me. Because that one is basically like I'm just going to feint using this move and make sure my the teammate that switches in is fully healed. The Pokemon that swapped in was already fully healed, so it didn't matter. So here we're looking for Krogunk. It is very useful to have a fighting type, and this is the only one we can get right this second. Luckily for us, it also has some good moves. It's going to get Fake Out. Oh, there we go. It's going to get Fake Out, which is that priority move I was talking about. Chip damage is pretty useful when you're talking about like damage ranges. God, that's scary every time. But it also has Poison Touch, so when we're using it, any move that it uses could... let's go. Any move that we use could poison the opponent, which will also be nice. Alright, we got one more op.
I was just going to say, everybody, it sounds like y'all want us to have a team of little Screms, but if you would like maybe to get a different name instead of a little Screm, type !LA donate to get some donations in and help us support our upcoming event of In-Person Out of Bounds 3.
Yeah, and we still have a few Pokemon to catch after this. Scatterbug, Tyrogue, Togedemaru, and Gligar are the ones that are still coming up, but we can still nickname any of the Pokemon that we've caught already. Luckily, they added that. It's something that Saf and I did not know the entire time we played the game, and every time we wanted to switch a Pokemon's name, we were going to the name raider.
That's true. Yeah, that is genuinely true. We did not figure that out until we were like cooking for the Elite Four, right?
I'm gonna be honest, I think this was literally after we finished the game.
Oh my god.
Because we went to Slateport to...
Always going to Slateport.
We do get to Slateport in this run, so like we could go to the Name Rater anyway, but it's available in any Pokemon Center, which is a nice quality of life thing. So I guess I can talk a little bit about the next Pokemon we're getting, because it is going to be the most important Pokemon we catch this entire run. So on Route 104, we're going to be catching a Scatterbug. This Scatterbug is going to do everything. It evolves immediately, so it's going to be fully evolved to a Vivillon at level 12. It has great moves, and specifically what it has is it has Sleep Powder and Compound Eyes. Compound Eyes basically makes it so that inaccurate moves like Sleep Powder always hit, so we're going to be using that later in the run, mainly at Brawly. Hi, Scott. Mainly at Brawly to make things a bit easier. Now, this is the most specific Pokemon that I'm going to need, because I need to get, I believe it's a 10% encounter to get a Scatterbug. I'm also just going to save before I do this. It is like a 10% chance for a Scatterbug, and then it's a 50% chance that it is the right ability. And on top of that, I do need it to have above a certain speed stat. So, a lot of the Pokemon that I have, like, having good stats is, like, nice, but it isn't absolutely necessary. Okay, so we got our first Scatterbug here.
I'd gotten really excited when I saw the Blipbug, and then I realized...
It is kind of, like, the same Pokemon. They evolve into very different Pokemon, but it's kind of the same one. Okay, so now we get to see if we got lucky. So we're looking for, I believe, like above 13 or 13 or above. We got another A. Okay, and I'll probably use this moment to get the rest of them. And that's the wrong one. Okay, I'm actually going to just do this. I don't want to get into a situation where I run out of Pokeballs. It's never happened before, but it scares me.
And that's real.
I mean, that is valid. Yeah, that sounds terrifying in a game like this. You get 20
to start off with in this game, and I'm catching... Well, I'm only catching 7 Pokemon, because you get the Piplup for free. And then once you get this Scatterbug, it'll evolve, and then it'll have status moves, which you can use to kind of help as well. But that doesn't mean it's not scary. Especially because the way that this game works, because we're going to be going through this Route 104, and this is where the game kind of, like, branches off from regular Emerald. So at the end of this part, right before Petalburg Woods, we are going to do the Aqua Grunt fight that would typically be in Petalburg Woods. And once that happens, we will not be able to go through to Rustboro, to the normal first gym, Roxanne. We will have to go directly to Dewford, and do all of that as, like, the first gym. But once we go to Dewford, we can't go back to Petalburg. Meaning, we don't have access to a Pokemart after we leave this area. So anything that I have to do, or anything that I have to buy, I have to do before I leave this area. Which, luckily, I actually shouldn't need to go to the Pokemart for anything. Oh
my god, it's luckily, Jeremy's pre-evolution.
It's Jeremy. For reference...
Well, I do have to tell you, when we do get that Scatterbug, we are going to be naming that Scatterbug Bort. And that comes from a
Bort.
Right. Yes, that comes from a $5 donation from Indy Villain, and Indy says, only one Pokemon is powerful enough to beat this run. Please recruit my son, Bort.
Okay. All right, it will be named Bort.
Let's go, Bort. We will have and Bort.
I love that.
I like this team.
So I will say, this is tough.
Yeah.
this is kind of the inflection point. If there was like one reset point of the entire run, it's this. I will say, like, all of these Pokemon are basically 10% to show up. So like, any time now would be fantastic. But I'll do anything for Bort. You know,
we'll do anything for Bort.
Anything for Bort.
Chat, send your energy in for Bort. We need Bort.
No, Saf mentioned there's when a Yanma came up, the pre-evolution of Jeremy. There's a couple of Pokemon in our playthrough that were kind of like instrumental in. Oh,
let's go.
Good. And she's a girl.
Bort.
Let's go.
Heck yeah.
You know what? I'm not gonna risk this. We had a lot of Pokemon that were kind of instrumental to our runs, and for me, I had a Yanmega that was named Jeremy. That guy got me through so much.
Jeremy was always hit his ancient power Omni boosts. B-O-R-T.
Okay. I
B-O-R-T, yes.
Alright, Bort. There we go. Okay, let's check. Okay, we'll have to scale. That's fine. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's not great. That's fine. Okay. This is runnable, which is good.
If you noticed
right,
in that,
and then after
in Route 104, oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna talk. So Route 104, you saw in that grass, it was like a lot of early game bug Pokemon. That is honestly like one of my favorite things about Run and Bun and the encounter tables that they built for this game, is that they're all sort of like kind of themed. Like this is, you know, you're in the early game. Here's where you would probably be getting your early game bug Pokemon in actually in Pokemon Emerald, and you're gonna be getting your early game bug Pokemon in Run and Bun as well.
Yeah, something that's also really nice is that because of the way that the game was made, a lot of bug Pokemon are actually just really good. Like some of the best Pokemon to get in Pokemon Run and Bun are some of the bug Pokemon. Like, there's a reason I'm using Vivillon here. It's actually just that good. It's just useful for the battles that are coming up. There's other Pokemon that are like other bug Pokemon that are like really, really good encounters to get. Like Golisopod is an absolute monster. It has the ability Emergency Exit, so whenever you're hit below half health, you switch out, which can be incredibly useful for switching in Pokemon without taking any damage, because everything in this game is fully on set mode.
And speaking of like the game fully being in set mode as well, another change to the mechanics of the game that happened is the way that Dexa created the battles made it so that you cannot use items in battle. So you can't heal mid-battle unless you're using moves. You can't like use potions. You can't use X items, which is different than a lot of modern Pokemon speedruns where you're using X items to power up your main Pokemon and mow through the battles that you have to go through. It adds a depth of battle that means you have to use a lot more of your team and a lot more of your like brain to sort of like work around and figure out checks to certain Pokemon and certain moves.
Yeah, this game is kind of like finely crafted to make sure you are permanently at a disadvantage. One of the ways that the game does that is that you have a very limited amount, like a limited pool of Pokemon to pull from, and there's only so much you can do with those Pokemon. The enemy's Pokemon have access to certain moves that you don't have access to. They have access to abilities that you don't have access to. Like all of the good hidden abilities that you would have on other Pokemon. Just what was I doing for this? Yeah, some of the stuff that you might want on some Pokemon just doesn't exist. Like this Yanma, I believe has speed boost. That's unfortunate. We do not get access to the speed boost. In fact, speed boost is kind of like, it's kind of the bane of my existence in some ways. Any Pokemon that is able to boost their speed consistently is kind of like a really big threat. I was mentioning stats earlier with like IVs and stuff. All enemy Pokemon in this game have perfect IVs, which is evil, which means you're automatically at disadvantage. When it comes to the important stats in the game, speed is like kind of far and away the most important stat, because it really determines like what Pokemon moves first, and that is incredibly important. All right, so yeah, this fisherman, I believe in the base game, this guy just has like a Magikarp or two, and luckily for us, he still just has a Magikarp or two. I hope it doesn't do anything weird. Oh. Okay.
Oh. It bounces.
I suppose
this Magikarp has legs.
This Magikarp actually does just have legs. Something else that I do kind of wish was a little bit different, but I mean, it kind of fits into the make everything difficult for me thing is Chinchu here has one Electro-type move that is going to get the entire time, and it's Electro Ball, which is a move that will scale its power based on how fast, like how much you outspeed the opponent's Pokemon. This Pokemon is not fast. Just like at a base level. Wow. Oh yeah, it's a Focus Sash. I'm always surprised by this. Yeah, and then it's gonna, yeah, that's right. Okay, that's fine.
It's fine. We're fine.
Everything's fine. So I was saying about how much speed is important here. I'm gonna pick up this heart scale. Heart scales in this game are something that you can use in order to change your Pokemon's base IVs to 31, which is something that is so imperative when you're at such a disadvantage. You kind of want to take advantage of everything here. We get access to 2 heart scales in this route. 46 is okay. We get access to 2 heart scales in this route, and one of them is kind of relegated to being safety to make sure that we can evolve Tyrogue into Hitmonlee. Okay, I guess I planted the berry.
It's okay. It's okay.
So we kind of have like 1 heart scale to burn, and this run it's going to be full on speed. Sap, did you want to talk a little bit about this next trainer? Because this trainer's evil.
Oh, Lady Cindy.
Yeah.
Every single one of her Pokemon has the ability Cute Charm, which can charm your Pokemon, which gives a percentage chance to make it so that way your Pokemon is infatuated and will not attack. So, and I think that's on Contact is whenever you get whenever you can get charmed.
I believe it's Contact. Also, shout out to Dexa. It does make it harder, but it wouldn't have it any other way. Attract works on any gender regardless. So we can have gay Pokemon now.
Let's go!
Let's go.
Well, that's fantastic. Do you know what's also fantastic?
Yeah, what's fantastic?
What's fantastic?
I have a $100 donation from Tsubasa Akari that says, "We have a little Scream, yes, but what about a big Scrum?" And I don't know, y'all. Can we maybe get a big Scrum for that wonderful big donation for Out of Bounds 3? I'm ready for a big Scrum.
I don't want to peek too much.
I know I was trying to do it quietly enough to where it would be like super awful.
A small big Scrum. Yeah. A controlled big Scrum.
So something else about these about this trainer specifically is it's like they all have Cute Charm, so you can be attracted and have a chance of just not hitting the Pokemon, and they also all have Thunder Wave, which is why I gave a Cherry Berry to Thank God. Okay. Which is why I gave a cherry berry to here and in my party. Unfortunately, knocking out this Jigglypuff is just kind of tough, and so we just gotta hit it until... Okay, that's nice.
Yeah, this trainer was
I will
sort
say,
of designed... Oh, God. Please go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, thank God I used Mud Slap.
Yup. But yeah, so this trainer was designed by Dexa to sort of be like an early game tutorial, like an in-game tutorial of sorts of, hey, you should use berries on your Pokemon. There's cherry berries that are planted right before this fight. You should use berries to make sure that you aren't going to run into the hindrances that are going to get thrown your way. And that's just only going to get much more Oh, you fell in love. Oh, no.
Hey, listen. My Chinchu is gay, and I'm proud of him.
I am proud of them.
I definitely would like to be able to, like, beat this battle, though.
They're in love.
I'm sorry, I am just losing it over being immobilized by
oh my
love
God,
on the day
love
after
is actually so
Valentine's Day.
powerful, guys.
Love is in the air.
Love is so
Oh my
powerful. This is
goodness.
so gay. It's beautiful.
Oh.
Come on.
Yes.
Hey.
It's super effective.
Miss Stomp?
Hey.
Oh.
07. You did your best.
By
You were in love.
Oh, seven's in
love.
chat.
Piplup is faster though, so it's fine.
But yeah. So it's, you know, this fight, it's like, hey, use your cherry berries and continue to use berries throughout the run because you're going to get more powerful berries and the Pokemon are only going to get more powerful, especially like mons that are going to abuse sleep on you. There's no sleep claws in Run and Bun. Mons that use burn or poison or like any of the other status afflictions that can happen.
So, to be honest with you, this is the boss of this section, but Lady Cindy is harder. Like, that, there's so much going on there, and, like, this, there's probably gonna be a moment here that's gonna be a little bit scary, but it should be fine. Yeah, that's fine. And then I have the bear. That's unfortunate.
Oh?
But we have the Oranberry, so I think things should be fine. This isn't gonna one-shot. It was gonna one-shot. Okay.
It's
I guess my
gonna
special attack is high. My special attack's high enough. That's fine.
Comes in clutch.
Shadow? Something you're probably gonna see me do throughout this is just like let my Pokemon faint so that I get a clean switch into whatever I need to switch into. Let's just Magical Leaf do. I don't think it does much. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna be... Something that's so important in a game like this is making sure that you're on as even as a playing field as you could possibly be. And sometimes that means just letting a Pokemon faint and then getting a clean switch. Because if I switch to Bort here, shout out Bort. Shoutouts to Bort.
Shoutouts to Bort.
If I switched into Bort there, she would have taken damage, which would have made stuff later harder. Something additionally that isn't as relevant right this second, but will show up a lot more as we get into the gym and some other stuff is a lot of knowing how to play this game is understanding like move priority and switch in priority. The game has kind of like updated trainer AI, and so it'll use certain moves that it has with certain priority depending on if it sees that it's able to knock out your Pokemon or if it has a status that's going to make the battle easier for it. Oops. Oh, mashing B through that. And then also knowing, like, whenever I knock out one of my opponent's Pokemon, what Pokemon's going to switch in, and why. A lot of the time it comes down to speed, which is kind of like one of the biggest things within this run. But sometimes it's just like they see that their Pokemon does more damage to yours than yours does to them, you know, and that's kind of all it is.
Yeah.
Right, so getting here, we are going to be catching Tyrogue. What do I have? This is actually fun. We're going to be catching our Tyrogue. This is going to be important, like what the stat is here. I do need the attack to be higher than the defense. Hi, Krogunk.
Hi, Krogunk.
Hello
I do
there.
need the Tyrogue to evolve into Hitmonlee specifically, which means I need its attack stat to be higher than its defense stat. Luckily, I can use a heart scale to maximize the attack IV. As long as, like, I could get incredibly unlucky and get, like, 31 defense IV and then, like, a plus defense minus attack nature. And then it would be, like, impossible. But that is so incredibly unlikely that it basically just will never happen. So, I'm looking forward to seeing it happen in a second here.
You said it, not me. We can't call it commentator's curse when it's you saying it.
Hi, Tyrogue.
Alright. Let's Fake Out. Fake Out is actually just such a good move, and I'm glad that we actually have access to it, unlike some. Okay, that's good. Unlike some things, like, we just don't have access to certain things in this game, like terrain or weather. The game really is just trying to say, no. If it's raining here, it's going to be raining here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got one more.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just see what the situation is. Okay, we'll use the heart scale here. That's fine.
Hey, Manu, we can do that. It's not a 31 IV plus defense nature.
Oh.
Welcome to the team, big screen.
Welcome to the team. Okay, I'm gonna use one. Hold on, what was the first one? IV. I'm gonna do this for Bort's speed, because that is actually very important. Speed. Yes. Okay, and then after, well, once I need to like level up our Tyrogue here, I will worry about using the other scale, which we'll get in just in a second here, to maximize the attack so that we can have a Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee is important just because it has double kick, which is such a good move this early on. Like, I had a Hitmonlee in our playthrough. That guy was awesome. Really, really good for Brawly. Really good for Roxanne. Just having a priority flinch move and Fake Out and having double kick, like, you don't need other moves in that. So it's really good to have that. Right now we are just leveling up the team to the next level cap, which is 17. This is going to be for like, this section goes up to the Slateport Aqua double battle. Basically, we will be fighting 2 back-to-back single battles with these Aqua Grunts in the Slateport Museum. That fight is honestly not that bad if you have a good setup for it, but it is a little bit evil.
It can get pretty scary. I know. I think I had a really tough time with the museum grunts. I don't know why I did, but I remember I did.
Yeah, I mean, that was so long ago at this point.
I know.
Like, you're telling me to remember something from, like, last year?
Genuinely from May.
Genuinely, this was May when we were doing this. just a lovely team we have here. Shadow, Bort, and
And soon to be Big Scream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Big Scream. Okay, hold on.
Big Scream.
I think we'll have an opportunity after we get out of Granite Cave. So I believe I can head to the Pokemon Center and do that as long as I remember.
We will try to remember to remind you.
Thank you. Sleep powders. This is the big one.
Let's
we're gonna need this for Brawly specifically. There is 1 or 2 other points where it's gonna be important. But having Compound Eyes makes this.
So Bort really is the queen of
Bort
this.
is the queen of this run, truly.
Yeah. And I will say another reason why Bort is so good is because since Vivillon is a bug flying type, it quad resists fighting, which is incredibly useful. Not just especially for the fighting gym leader Brawly, but also throughout the rest of the run. Vivillon is one of the only Pokemon that you will get. Like, you get very few Pokemon that can actually learn Protect, which is so useful. And Vivillon is one of them.
Okay, you saw the Cherry Berry. Yeah, a lot of... I mean, honestly, like, routing this category is a lot of kind of just looking at what the goal is and then working backwards. I believe I need you for this. Yeah. Is just, like, having, like, coverage for what's coming. So, like, I started at Brawly and said, okay, what is a team that I can make off of the, like, what I'm given that can beat Brawly? And then you just kind of have to make it work. Luckily, we do have access to some good Pokemon to deal with this. Please. Oh.
We live.
Okay. Like I said, this
1
this
HP
Pokemon
in a dream.
lives like everything.
We never didn't have it.
Whew.
Okay. This I don't care. Just yeah. And then I'll give you one guess to who we're switching in here. That's right. It's our goat Bort.
Let's freaking go.
Let's go, Bort.
Bort City over here.
Literally Bort City over here. Oh, that's unfortunate. I think that's fine though. Yeah, see, Bort's fine. Bort's not confused.
Bort's never confused. Bort knows what they're doing.
And it's to win.
Truly. See,
Bort is locked in.
That Aracuda is locked in now.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh no, the Aracuda's laser focused.
They're just trying to match how locked in Bort is right now. So we're gonna pick up the heart scale here. And then we're gonna fight this trainer. This trainer on paper looks really scary. We'll see how this goes. Saf, did you want to see like how evil this team should be?
Yeah, so this fight was sort of designed as you have. This hiker has Ruin Maniac Georgie has 4 Mons total, and the first 3 are very much designed to sort of soften you up for the scary Mon he has in the back, which is a Salic Berry Munchlax. So with Belly Drum, so everything's sort of just like, hey, we're here to sort of chip down your team, make it so you're a little hurt. That way a +6 attack Munchlax can just sort of wreck you and just ruin everything.
Yeah. And that's scary.
I'm seeing that's not so much the issue with this team.
Well, see, there's a cool thing called Pluck. And so now it doesn't have the berry anymore, and it's going to use Belly Drum. And so I win.
Oh.
Yup. You eated it?
I literally just eated the berry. When I was first routing the run, I was routing with Turtwig. Or the first run that I did, I routed with Turtwig because Turtwig is really good, like, for like later gyms, but that's not really important for this right now. Maybe another time. But not having pluck makes that battle a lot scarier. Alright, so we have Granite Cave here. This is where we're finding the last two of our Pokemon. We're finding a Togedemaru, which is going to be very important, especially for the Aqua Double. And we are finding a Gligar, which is kind of the GOAT. I want you here. Alright, let's see how fast this is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Togedemaru has been, like, historically, I mean, like, I've seen it in the Run and Bun community dubbed as one of the greatest Pokemon you can get in the early to mid game. Not only is it tanky, not only is it a steel type, not only does it, I think it gets fake out, it's powerful. Electric is a very, very good offensive type. Steel is a very, very good defensive type.
This is the
just genuinely all
one, so
around one of the greatest mons you can pick up in the early game.
Yeah.
Which is why Dexa made it such a small chance.
And
I
there it is.
5% chance in the Granite Cave first floor.
All right, and then we are going to drop a sleep powder here and just hope.
It is 10% down here.
Honky Honkshoe, and Dexa did kind of try to like balance it out a little bit by giving like every Pokemon known to man double kick. There's a couple trainers later that are going to be an issue with that. But even then, Togedemaru kind of just lives. This is unfortunately just going to wake up. Yeah. Metal. Okay. Luckily, it doesn't have Spark yet. Right now, it only has access to Nuzzle, which would still be annoying because it is a 100% paralysis move.
All right.
Okay, that's... Come on.
Go to bed.
Hey, listen. Twin Needle is not bad. Oh! Hey! Why is it Why? Hey, Bort. Let's clean this up.
Get the ball, Togedemaru. Oh!
Come on, Bort. We got this.
That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It'll be okay. Lock in, Bort.
I mean, if Bort faints, it's not that big of a deal.
Oh.
I do just need Togedemaru to get
another
to the ball,
first turn wake up.
So we added donation for Big Scream, right? Oh, okay, well, he does. Okay,
yes.
I think what I'll do is Big Scream will be Togedemaru. I think it's actually... Oops, I pressed B.
Oh, I really thought that was it.
Okay, that's literally fine. We will find another one. That one wasn't right for us, to be honest.
Oh.
It didn't want to get in the ball.
That's okay, we'll find another one.
That Togedemaru is not my friend. Togedemaru unfriended.
Unfollowed, unsubscribed.
Wasn't
invited from my birthday party. Yeah, your
so
your Alolan
pretty.
Sandslash kind of, yeah, your Sandslash did numbers.
I love Alolan Sandshrew so much. Girly pop.
Yeah, something something
there
really...
were so many times where
there we go.
Milo
so something really,
really
cool
Pop
about Run
was
is just
the
that,
key
like,
and pivotal
any
thing
Pokemon
that
you get,
led me
like,
through some fights.
Could realistically
it's fast,
be viable.
it's strong.
That's not going to do anything.
Ice Steel type.
It's going to make me feel better.
There we go.
Like, most Pokemon are, like, somewhat viable. There are Pokemon that aren't going to be, like, great encounters to get. But, like, Pokemon, like, Ice types aren't usually, like, super, super good. But Alolan Sandslash has the Steel type that kind of balances that out. And then the game is kind of, balanced so that, like, that Pokemon actually can shine.
Yeah, there's a lot of dragon types, there's a lot of flying types, there's a lot of really scary grass types, especially in like the mid game. That you would love something that you can do.
We are kind of in a it does need to get into the ball situation
and
here.
That's why an ice steel type is really powerful because it's
currently
not very,
have
dragon type moves aren't very effective on it, and it can do damage back in return,
which should be fine.
Okay. Don't press B this time.
Yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be, like, incredibly safe. I'm making a save state.
Yeah.
Probably smart.
This is, like, a very just-in-case situation here.
Marathon safety.
Yeah, I do have a backup save, basically like a just-in-case. Okay, well, I just need a threat.
Pokemon
it just
feel safe.
It just needed the threat. It just needed the threat of the save state of, yeah.
How are we doing big scream for this? Are we doing...
So, B-E-E-G.
Oh, so we're doing big. Okay.
Yeah, big screm. So, S-C-R-E-M.
I see. I believe that just fits.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that is beautiful.
Perfect.
There we go.
Perfection. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay. Let's get this back up. We only have one more Pokemon to catch, and as long as that goes well, we're fine. But we'll see. Luckily for us, Gligar's stats actually kind of don't matter at all. Like, I was doing the calculations with a Gligar with 0 IVs and everything, and it kind of was just fine. Gligar is going to be the main Pokemon to deal with Brawly's Hitmontop, which is one of the more evil Pokemon. One of the more evil Pokemon that we have to fight in this run. It has Technician, which means any Pokemon, any move that is like, was it 60 or below, has its power multiplied by like 1.5, which means moves like Fake Out, which is a priority move, or moves like any move that has like a low base power is now incredibly strong. But Gligar kind of just tanks it, which is great for us.
Yeah, Gligar was designed originally as like a not evolving Pokemon in Generation 2, so that's why its stats really like balance pretty well for a power level that's close to this, close to the power level that we need for Brawly here. Even though we won't be able to evolve it into a Gliscor until much later in the game, not during this run.
Oh yeah, but Gligar stands on its own. We do have a lot of, it's weird. This room has a lot of Psychic type encounters, as you've been seeing. You've seen like Dottler, Baltoy, Hatena, and it would have been really cool if any of these Pokemon were good enough to use for Brawly, but unfortunately, like, the level cap that we're going to be at for Brawly is 21. And none of the Pokemon are good enough by 21 to fight Brawly except for Gligar. And Gligar just has... It's just because it has, like, good stats in Aerial Ace. Like, that's all you need.
That's all you need.
That is literally all you need.
So, Forgiven, I know you had mentioned earlier that you had switched off of originally routing with Turtwig to do Piplup instead. And that's another thing I would love to point out about Run and Bun is all 3 of the starters, for at the very least a casual playthrough, speedrun still determining, but all of the starters are very viable in different aspects of the game. Like, Torterra is, or like, Turtwig, and then that whole evolution line is really powerful in mostly the early game, and then it sort of tapers off. Piplup's sort of seen as a mid-game powerhouse, and Chimchar is like the late-game starter, basically. Infernape is a very powerful Mon, especially in the later fights in this game, especially in the Elite Four. And I think that's just like a really interesting design philosophy that Dexa brought to the game. There we go. Hi, Gligar.
We're going to make another just in case. Yeah, the starters are, like, at this point, I do think Piplup is the fastest starter to get up to Brawly, and probably still to Roxanne. But I think, like, the further you get into the run, the answer kind of changes a little bit. Because you're less optimizing for, okay, what's the fastest I can do just Brawly in? And it becomes, like, what is the most consistent set of Pokemon that I can get that will be able to deal with everything? Like, I use 8 Pokemon in this run. I don't want to have to use 8 Pokemon, but that's just, like, what I was able to find to be the most consistent way to do it every single time. And, you know, as I kind of calculate more, as I do a bit more thinking on how stuff goes, I've been kind of, like, modifying some stuff. Like, this route up until, like, last week, like 2 weeks ago, I was grabbing a Natu on Route 104, and then I went through and said, I'm using this Pokemon literally twice. Alright, we're out of Pokeballs, so we're gonna... I will just say, that has never happened before.
Never happened before.
We said the thing.
A first time
the
on
thing.
Cracked mode.
But yeah, so it's, you know, once I see, okay, I'm not really using this Pokemon that much, and then I see what the other options are. Like, I've routed this category with all 3 starters, and for the longest time, none of the starters were actually, like, that important. It was mostly, I was using a Xatu, which, for those of you who know Pokemon, you know, hey, that Pokemon doesn't evolve until level 22. You do have access to rare candies, like actual rare candies, which allows you to go over the level cap by however many you have, right? And there is one that's available in this section of the game. And so I was using that to evolve Natu into Xatu, and then I was using a heart scale to add Tailwind, which doubles the speed of all your Pokemon for 4 turns. And that is a very good way to beat Brawly. It's just not the fastest. Can I hit this thing, or will it just... it's 9 levels below, it's just gonna... If I hit this thing with a Bubble Beam, it will perish. It is unfortunate that that Bort is taking a little nap right now, because I would like this Gligar to be taking a nap.
Yeah.
After this, we will be heading over to Route 109 via Mr. Briny, and that route is definitely a little tough. that is probably the most important place in the run to not have a Pokemon faint when you don't need it to, because then you have to take the boat all the way back to Dewford, which is pretty slow here.
Okay, why does this Gligar not want to go into their home? This is very rude.
Does she not know that we're friends? Like,
we're literally
friends.
We are meant to be friends. Let me see.
Girl, we're besties.
We
Come
are literally
on.
besties. Let's just see. How much does this do? Because like all my other attacking moves are like Bubble Beam. That's a crit? Okay. Oh, that's right. This thing has like 7 attack IVs.
And Gligar is fairly tanky.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what? You're not gonna have 7 attack IVs for very long.
Soon you will be big and strong.
Soon you will be big and strong and attacking with your feet. Oh, that's great. Okay, so we're just gonna do this, and then we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna hope. Once again, this has never happened before.
I don't even know what to say. Are you too good for your home?
Gligar thinks she's too good to beat Brawly. What the heck?
What the heck? Girl, I just want to be your friend.
I have Metal Claw on How much does Metal Claw do? We're here anyway.
We're here.
Hey, we're here. We got a save state. Let's figure this out.
We're here. We're queer. We're trying to catch a Gligar. Okay, we're you fool. Okay. All right.
I believe this is gonna be the one.
We'll go from here.
All right, and when I said this is gonna be the one, I meant this next one is gonna be the one.
No, and you know what?
That was just
telepathically told me. I was just like, oh no, I know what they mean. They were talking about this one. See, that's
like I said.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Let's freaking go. We got the Gligar.
Never worried.
We got the Gligar, y'all.
Did we have another nickname or no?
No, but I want to go with
I love the
Here.
Just because of how much work she gave us for that.
Okay. We're gonna get out of here, and then I am switching out our Tyrogue for the next set of battles here. And also healing because, man, that was something.
It really it takes you out.
never spent so long in Granite Cave. So we want Big Screm here. Big Screm will be important for later. So we're gonna first level up. And then we're gonna have a little beach episode.
Yay!
Yay!
Who cares that it's February? Everyone get your swimsuits. We're going to the beach.
That's literally the best time. The best time to go to the beach.
Hey, the best time to go to the beach? Right now.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I did actually go to the beach like 2 weeks ago. Because it's been so nice where I'm living right now. So me and a friend, we just did an impromptu beach trip and drove out there.
Because you knew that we were going to the beach here.
Yup.
You were prepping for the run. All right,
also, I want to call out that merch order that we just got. Thank you so much for purchasing that. And we have lovely, lovely merch for our 4-year anniversary raid train. If y'all would like to take a look at that, check out the ! merch in chat.
It's genuinely, it is some really cool stuff.
It's so cute.
Evie put in some good work on it, and I love that it's a callback to the Best of Awards that happened at the end of January.
Mm-hmm.
So cute. shout out Laboa.
Okay, so this section is a little spooky, a little scary. We have a couple trainers to start off with that aren't really that bad, but the final 2 trainers on Route 109 are kind of tough. We'll be there in a minute. This first trainer starts with a Smoochum. You'll see that I added a Chestoberry to my this Smoochum has Lovely Kiss, which we would rather not be slept. Sleep is very inconsistent, as I'm sure you saw earlier. Luckily, we don't need it. Fun fact, when we originally played Run and Bun, when we originally played Run and Bun, I never picked up those Chesterberries. And I think I learned this, like, much later on in the run when we were preparing for something, and you put on a Chesterberry, and I was like, hey, where did you get those? It was just like, oh.
I do remember this so vividly. Fun thing that I also remembered is we didn't pick up the fishing rod until after this whole section.
In our defense, we didn't know.
We didn't know.
We didn't know. Like, I'm literally just a girl. Like, what do you want me to do?
I'm sorry, I'm still losing it over sleep is ineffective. We don't need that. As an insomniac, that hit hard. That was speaking some truth. It's ineffective. We don't need that.
We don't need that.
We don't need to be sleeping here. All right, so we're gonna heal up here. I am so thankful that we get so many Oran berries, because God, just having to worry about, like, buying potions for this. Like, I used to buy potions in this route, and it made me be like, money's kind of tight. Money was never tight. You just use Oran berries. All right. So we got this trainer. These next 3 are kind of whatever, and then we get into the final 2 trainers. Saf, did you want to give us a little preview of what we're looking for those last 2 little guys?
For those last 2 little guys?
The last 2, yeah, those the tubers at the end of the route.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so at the end of the route, it is a double battle, right, between Tuber Ricky and Tuber Haley?
You can do it as singles, and I'm going to be doing it as singles.
Oh, yes. So that is something you can do in some different routes. There can be trainers that can be done as a double or as a single. Especially with the mons that we have, doing it as a single is often easier than doing it as a double, because double battle mechanics are tough and kind of scary, and you have to manage a lot more than you have to. Yeah, for Tuber Ricky coming up, it's a Silk Scarf A-Palm with, like, double hit, which is just, it's scary. It's a scary, having any multiplier on, like, their moves just makes it a lot scarier for your Pokemon taking more damage. What else? Yeah,
something that I'll also point out for, honestly, both of those trainers. One of them has a Nidorino, and one of them has a Nidorino. I don't have the best kind of coverage options for those right now. It used to be, like, these were the battles that I was doing with Natu before. Having Confusion is quite nice when you're dealing with poison types, especially one that resists, or I guess that quad resists, regular resists, like, poison, and then it also resists the fighting type because they both have double kick. But I have taken that Pokemon out of the route, so it makes these trainers a little bit more awkward. As long as I don't have any unexpected Pokemon faint, it should be fine. I'll probably be switching into either Prinplup or Togedemaru. And then hopefully it should be fine. Shout out to this Palpitoad using Rain Dance because truly that will matter.
It can matter. Oh.
Ooh, ouch.
Scary crit, scary crit.
Luckily, it should be slower than us now, so even if this doesn't... Okay, it's fine. And then... What's the other thing this guy has? Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Oh my god, it's Dr. Pepper.
It's Dr. Pepper. We, both Saf and I had a Weasel that evolved into a Floatzel. What was it? It's gonna outspeed me here, so I'm just gonna sack to...
it was gonna... Pepper.
Yeah, you had Dr. Pepper and I had Mr. Pepper. They were married.
Yes, they were married because, maybe Dr. Pepper was a woman. That's something people don't think about.
This is very true.
They were great.
Yeah,
Floatzel is
genuinely
just such a great mon. They have priority moves. They're really fast. Good stats.
Yeah, it made me so sad when I wasn't using Floatzel very much anymore. It's like, oh
yeah,
I built an attachment.
No, there's definitely, like, I mentioned, like, Jeremy earlier, like, there was a lot of Pokemon that were incredibly important for us in the early game that just kind of didn't hold up. And that's kind of just part of it, but it's like, I don't know, I miss Jeremy.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, shout out to all of the Pokemon that we named just other Pokemon.
See, that's the way to go. I think that's the way that you should go with this, is like, name all of your Pokemon other Pokemon.
I had an Escavalier whose name was Scizor. I think at one point I got a Grimmsnarl, and I really wanted a Zoroark, and so I just named it Zoroark.
Temu. It's the Temu version.
Yeah, no,
when we were playing, I got very confused because you were using Grimmsnarl and you're like, yeah, I'm sending in my Zoroark, and I was like, wait, what? You got a Zoroark?
And it's so funny because I actually brought that Grimmsnarl to the Elite Four.
Yep, and we could never forget Clop and Pidgey, the Dreadnoughts.
Oh god, love them. There was also some Pokemon that we named just after the emotion we were feeling when we caught them. I think the Dwebble that I mentioned that Dwebble I caught, I think I named it Mad.
And I think I named mine Disappointment.
There
were a lot of disappointments, a lot of negative names for Pokemon that we did not use ever, that we were not happy about getting.
Not a single time. I mean, when you're sitting there, because what would happen is that we would say, okay, because there's different encounters that you can get on each route, right? You can get a land encounter on the grass, you can fish, you can surf to get different encounters. And so we'd be like sitting there trying to figure out like, what's the, what would be the best thing for us to get? And like hyping that up in our own heads. And then we get the encounter and it's a Dwebble. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. This simply has to hit. Okay.
Let's freaking go.
It simply has to hit. Okay. So this is the part where it gets a little bit scary. This Luxio has Intimidate, so I'm going to be switching out. Usually it's a Nidorino, but I'm gonna do this. So, here has Vault Absorb. So if I was missing health, I'd be regenning it there. Luckily, Double Kick isn't really getting too much. I'm just gonna confuse this guy. Oh yeah, it has a Lumberry. I'm gonna confuse this guy.
Get confused now.
Get confused now? Hey, don't do that.
Howl
Hey,
is
don't.
Scary.
Hey,
Okay.
hey.
Yeah,
could
no,
you...
don't do that.
Hey,
Speed fell.
Luxio,
That's good.
could you not do what you're doing right now? Thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you.
The
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay. Everything's fine.
There were some dark battles that we ran into where we were for sure crit fishing in order to get through there.
Yeah, just like, so if I hit a crit, I mean, like, that's fine. Like, I don't know, when we say that, like, people will spend, like, multiple days just prepping for, like, a handful of trainers, it's, like, that's a real thing. That is, like,
yeah.
That is
I
valid.
bet.
Yeah. People will sit at the calculator for hours and hours at a time to try and calculate up, like, a line to get through a fight with losing as few Pokemon as possible. It's honestly like a really interesting puzzle to try to do.
Yeah.
I've seen it described as like it is a puzzle in which you have all the pieces you need to figure out how to put them together. You know, it's not like you can go online right now and be like, how do I beat Pokemon Run and Bun? You have the calculator in front of you, you have all of your stats, you get to see exactly how much damage you get to do to these Pokemon, and you have to come up by yourself with, I mean, not always by yourself, with other people too, but you have to come up with a way to power through it.
Yeah, it's a lot. And it's something that you don't see quite as much with this run. I mean, everything that I'm doing here is kind of, you know, somewhat planned out. And like, we're not getting into the stuff like the really evil stuff. You'll get a taste of it at Brawly. When you start to unlock this next one. But yeah, stuff in this game it becomes incredibly tough to even progress at all. Like, you know, there's a reason it took us 8-9 months to get through all of it. Especially towards the end. I mean, like, the Tate and Liza split that's later on is, like, God,
brutal.
It's brutal. Like, there's all of the evil team bosses are ridiculous. They're just getting legendaries and mythicals and these mega evolutions that we don't have access to.
I mean, combining that with like permanent field effects that you can't get rid of, like weather for weather teams, but also later on you're going to run into permanent tailwind, which will, like we said earlier, double the speed of the enemy team. You're going to run into permanent terrain. You're going to run into permanent, later on in Seafloor Cavern, you run into permanent Aurora Veil, which halves all of the damage that you do. There were some...
And then,
Wild.
And you have to fight a bunch of Aqua Grunts, and then you have to fight Kyogre.
Yep. Or, like,
Hey.
It's fine. It's fine. Hit through.
Oh. I'm gonna evacuate.
It's fine.
Oh. We'll see if it's fine.
It'll all be fine.
What's the situation here? We're gonna sleep powder again. Things should be fine. A lot of this game, especially when it comes to like nuzlocking or doing stuff where stuff is like really planned out, is knowing how to like steer when things go wrong. Of knowing like what can my Pokemon do in order to like how can I get out of this situation that I'm in. Which will be a very relevant thing in Brawly because like I have a line set up for Brawly. It's not gonna go like that. It never does. Just because like differences in stats. Is Metal Claw even gonna kill here? I think it will. Differences in stats, differences in all this different things makes AI see different things when you are when you're in battle. And so sometimes it's like, oh, Spark. It's like, oh, I have I'm planning for this Pokemon to switch in after this because it sees a kill on my Pokemon, or it sees that it's faster, but then, oh, my speed stat in this run is different, and so I have to, a different Pokemon's going to switch in, and I have to make kind of a different plan on the fly to deal with it. Oh, that's nice. 07 Big Scream.
Goodbye,
Big
Scram.
Big Scram.
Big Scram.
Big Scram.
Yeah, Scram.
And since you mentioned it as well, the AI in this game, they did a complete overhaul with the AI. Typical Pokemon AI is gonna mostly just go off of, like, if you're fighting other trainers, they will pick a super effective move that does the most damage, basically. And that's sort of like a very base level explanation of how Pokemon AI works. In Run and Bun, there are tiered checks, basically. So different moves. So, like, if a Pokemon has Fake Out, it's going to get a plus priority to that, which will make that Pokemon always use Fake Out. Or if it sees a kill, it will always go for the kill. And you can use that in certain scenarios, like if you have a Pokemon out and their Pokemon sees a kill on it, you can switch into a different Pokemon that will take less damage or take no damage from that attack. So you can abuse the AI a little bit in that way, but it does also make it incredibly difficult to maneuver around, like, what's coming in next, speed differences, if stats change, everything changes.
Yeah, and, like, it gets into stuff that is so incredibly niche, but it's stuff that you still need to know. Like, in the Elite Four, you have to fight a Lunala that has a Meteor Beam, which is a 2-turn move. It charges up 1 turn, then fires off the 2nd turn. And this Lunala is carrying a Power Herb, which means that any charge move will go off immediately. And the way that the AI priority works, it will basically, if there's a Pokemon that has Meteor Beam and a Power Herb, it will pretty much always choose that. And you can utilize that for different things. I had a whole plan during our run that was like, I'm going to use... I didn't check the stats on this Togedemaru, so I don't know if it's going to be faster than this Murkrow. We'll see. But, like, I had this whole plan where I was going to use Knockoff on the Lunala. And okay, that's good. I was going to use Knockoff on the Lunala so that the Power Herb wasn't there, and then it would have to charge up, and then I could get the knockout. That plan didn't work, but I mean the thought was there.
It was cool. It was a cool plan. I don't think
it was very cool.
I don't think any of my calculations for the Elite Four went right. I had to steer every single battle.
I think I had one. I think my Sydney was good. This Tortuga is evil, and I hope you don't...
Gets really scared.
So this Tortuga uses... First of all, it has a Rindo Berry, I believe, so this is going to resist it. Ancient Power has a 10% chance to boost every single one of your stats. And if that happens, this Tortuga immediately goes from, actually it's not that bad, to this is the scariest thing I've ever seen. Luckily, we didn't have to worry about that. I don't think... okay, cool. So this Scrap is going to use Acid, which is good for us, because we can switch into Big Scrim.
Big Scrim.
And then we are immune.
Yeah, so exactly
we
like
love Big Scrim.
Like I was saying earlier with the AI, Skrelp used Poison because it's super effective on the Grass-type Gossifleur, and because we knew that it was going to use a Poison move there, we got to switch into a Steel-type, which it does not affect at all.
Yeah, and that kind of play of, like, knowing what your opponent is going to use and then trying to switch to make sure you're positioned better, like, that is the entire game. Like, this is as close to, like, playing Pokemon VGC singles as you can get without actually just playing it. So it was really important that we kept Big Scrim alive during that first battle, because it's going to be really important here. Mainly for this Marina here. gonna use, yeah, that makes sense. The scariest part of this team, though, is actually the Whirlipede that's coming out next. We're gonna have a Whirlipede that comes out that has speed boost, and it's going to immediately use rollout. And that's tough. So what I'm gonna do before I switch out, I'm gonna use Nuzzle so that it gets paralyzed. I need to be able to interrupt this rollout as best as I can. It also has a Rocky Helmet, which is kind of unfortunate. Okay, that's actually really good that I got paralyzed there. Luckily with paralysis, its speed is lowered quite a bit, and so I should be able to outspeed this no problem. I'm probably gonna get hit by a rollout. Yeah, the first one is fine. I don't think I can get hit by another one. I think Air Cutter should be fine too. All right, let's hope.
Let's hope. Yeah,
and you know what? That's okay. and you know what? That's okay.
Or you did great. We love you. We love you.
We love you, Board.
Yeah, the scary thing about rollout is every time it hits, it does increased amounts of damage. So it's going to keep on clicking rollout, so that way the damage keeps on increasing until it dies, basically, which it did just there.
Yep.
And I would also oh, go ahead.
And especially, I was gonna say, especially with speed boost, like, it's going to get faster and faster, and if it has a rollout going, and it's always going to go before you, like, for some Pokemon, it will simply knock out your Pokemon before you can do anything. Well, that's unfortunate. What were you saying?
Oh, I was going to point out something fun about this like Aqua Grunt fight. So this is a back-to-back. It's, I believe, the first back-to-back in the entire game. So this is going to be 2 fights that are back-to-back. You cannot heal your Pokemon at all in between them, and you just have to defeat 6 straight Pokemon in 2 different battles with the Pokemon you have and the damage you took in the first fight. It gets a lot scarier later on in some of the back-to-backs that you are forced to do, because the Pokemon are stronger and they will be doing more damage. And so it's another way that Dexa sort of added difficulty in the game without adding more Pokemon to the teams or adding scarier moves to the teams. So you're going to see back-to-backs like this. You're going to see gauntlets later on, not in the run, but later on in the game, where you are locked in and you cannot go heal at the Pokemon Center. So if any of your Pokemon faint, you can't switch them out, you can't heal them back up and revive them.
Yeah, this game was made... It was kind of fine-tuned for, like, the Nuzlocke experience, and it's kind of brutal for that. But honestly, like, just playing the game normally is also incredibly difficult. And speedrunning is kind of like its own really unique challenge that I find quite nice.
Yeah.
Here we have Scott again. Hi, Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Scott. He's a talent scout or something. I don't know. Anyway, we're never going to see Scott again.
Bye, Scott.
Bye, Scott.
Bye, Scott.
So just north of this area is Route 111. We're not going to be going there in this run, but that is where the sole rare candy for the entire section is. That trainer battle is kind of tough, but if you beat it, you get an extra level that you can kind of play with. The level caps in this game are very specific in that the Pokemon that you have access to, a lot of them will not be evolving like before a certain level cap, right? So I mentioned before that there was one route where I had to use a rare candy to evolve Natu into Xatu. That was the only way for me to get Xatu, and that was the only way for me to get Tailwind. But luckily we don't need to do that right now. So also say goodbye to and also say goodbye to
Bye, Bye,
07, you did a great job. Love you. Okay, so we are going to be very careful here. You. And we are going to maximize the attack. And then we will just be 100% sure here. Okay, yeah, 1 stat point. That is good enough. Alright, so now we get to level up our Pokemon. And then we have the whole gym to fight.
Let's freaking go.
And while we level up our Pokemon, I just want to remind everybody else that they can also level up a little bit of their stuff by maybe grabbing a little bit of the merch for this raid train that you have y'all all been watching for the past 72 hours. It is absolutely amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing. Let the world know why video games, what was it exactly? Video games should be for nothing? I'm sorry. I'm forgetting. Because
video games should be about nothing.
Should be about nothing. Thank you. Which is also true. Video games should be about nothing.
Yeah, exactly what Oofy said. Level up your swag, level up your closet, get some Lady Arcaders merch. It's really good. I love my Lady Arcaders zip-up hoodie. One of the greatest jackets I own.
Well, then you get to just be absolutely snuggy, and that's the most important part.
And I don't have it yet because I've been waiting to buy it for when I have the money, but the Lady Arcaders skater dress is also so good. It is so cute. I love the design on
so
it.
Cute.
I'm like, I want it so bad.
It's so cute. Oh my god,
so,
is evolving?
Yeah, is evolving.
What's it gonna evolve into?
Ball? So, So, shout out Eldegoss, one of my favorite Pokemon. Like, it's actually wild how much playing this game has changed my opinion on so many different Pokemon. Some for the better, some for the worse. So you know exactly some of the ones I'm talking about. Yep. But like, you know, a lot of Pokemon are just like, oh wow, that was actually a lot better than I thought they would be. Like, oh, this Pokemon, like we've been talking about Jeremy the Yanmega, but that guy is awesome.
Yup.
I will say before I played Run and Bun, I didn't really have any specific like opinions about Mew, but in this game at the Mauville Game Corner, based on how many badges you have, you can get a certain Pokemon. So we actually waited until we had all of the badges and we got a mythical Pokemon. Saf got a Jirachi and I got a Mew. And Saf, being the wonderful person that they are, got little keychains, little matching keychains where I got a little Mew and they got a Jirachi. And like, I kind of love Mew a lot now. Like, it's actually one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I also we used them in the Elite Four, and it was great.
They were so integral to so many battles.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I also very much had that with Dr. Pepper, the Floatzel. Genuinely, Floatzel is like is up there with some of my favorite Pokemon now, and like the same with I really loved Hisuian Growlithe and Hisuian Arcanine before, but getting to play with Hamilton throughout the game, and just the number of fights I brought Hamilton to catapulted it up into the levels, into the Hall of Fame of favorite Pokemon.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of that. There definitely were a lot of Pokemon that I do not care for anymore. I'm thinking about a very specific Porygon 2. In the 6th gym, Winona's gym, there is a trainer, I think it's like the first or second trainer in the gym, who has a Porygon 2 with an Eviolite. And it is awful. Genuinely awful. I think that was the hardest trainer in the gym leader included.
Yup.
So we're getting into the gym here, and this is where we're really going to see Bort shine. Like, Bort solos most of this gym. Pretty much no problem. Just having Air Cutter being a relatively fast Pokemon, it just kind of tears through everything here. There's an exception, you know, especially for Brawly, that stuff is going to be different. And then the fight right before Brawly is also going to be a little tough. But everything up until then is kind of whatever. There is, similar to those tubers that we fought back on Route 109, there is, coming up here, this one, you can do this battle and the next one as a double battle. But again, double battle routing, like, it's something that can be faster, but to be honest with you, it's actually so hard to route because of all the different, like, things that can happen. But yeah, we're kind of chilling for right now. Just fighting this guy. There's going to be a few more trainers, and then this is the sixth battle, the second to last battle in the run is the next one that's going to be, like, a little tough. Saf, did you want to go a little bit over that that battle?
Yeah, the sixth battle.
Yeah. That's the one right before Brawly.
Yeah, so right before Brawly, we run into Battle Girl Jocelyn. She has 4 Mons, which is, I believe, the highest number of Mons in the gym, aside from Brawly himself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of goopers in there. Kecleon is pretty easy to deal with right at the start, and then once you bring in and take out the Golett, you just kind of have to hope that the switch is good. And it's just kind of praying.
Yeah,
Pignet and Arakomo are both really scary.
They're both really scary, and the thing about the Hakumo is that it has Dragon Tail, and it will use it. Dragon Tail will basically switch out. Whenever you use it on a Pokemon, it forces that Pokemon to switch out, which makes it very inconsistent, is what I'll say. This is not at all threatening. This is fine. Yeah, something you'll notice about the gym is that I'm actually just not healing in between battles. Whenever you're inside of a gym, the guy at the front of the gym told us all this before, but quite frankly, we're not reading all that right now. Whenever you are in a gym, whenever you start a battle, your Pokemon are immediately healed. Now, in this case, it's kind of good, because it means that we don't have to worry about healing between battles. But there are a lot of instances in which it's actually not great for us, which I know Saf found out the hard way. If you have a Pokemon that has Guts, which is an ability that makes it so that your attack is multiplied by 1.5 times whenever you have a status effect. If you have Guts, you can go to any Pokemon Center and status effect your Pokemon, which means that if you had, say, for example, random example, an Ursaluna, and you had Guts, and you wanted to pre-burn your Ursaluna so that it had the damage boost, typically in most trainer battles you can just do that and you get the boost. But because your Pokemon are healed in between, that's unfortunate. But since your Pokemon are healed between battles, it gets rid of the status effect, and so you can't utilize that in gyms. Yeah. Just another way the game takes away your agency.
Yeah, you can also, a strategy that a lot of people use for some harder fights is, it's called pre-damaging, where you pre-damage your Pokemon down to a certain health value, so that way other Pokemon are going to see certain moves as killing rather than other moves. It's a way to take away a lot of the randomness that might happen if, you have two moves that could damage you highly, and you only want one of those. it is the best way to ensure that Pokemon that do see a kill go for that kill, and you can switch in accordingly to try and stop that from happening.
Yeah, it's something that is pretty important when it comes to like nuzlocking the game, but also something that we do not have time for. I'm going to remember to hit protect on a Pokemon that has fake out. I'm going to remember to use the move that I have.
Let's freaking go.
You know what? Go to sleep.
Go to bed.
Go to bed.
It's just like putting the blanket over the bird cage. Go to bed.
It hits you with the sleep beam. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, just having, I mean, in this case, I have 2 flying types, is just so nice for this gym. Like, Air Cutter is, like, my absolute goat for this run. Alright, and then hopefully this last Pokemon's not too much of an issue. I don't know what it is, but my brain is telling me that this guy... That's right, he has Rock Throw. Okay. I think... Go to sleep.
Nap time.
Nap time. So you're seeing now that having Compound Eyes on board here is actually quite important. Because it just allows me to say, hey, time out. Time out corner. Stop hitting me. Okay, so now we have the only trainer that I actually need to, like, think for. This battle girl that we talked about earlier. This Kecleon can be a little bit scary, but luckily for us, we have a Hitmonlee, and it's not going to actually be an issue. I believe, does this Kecleon have a Focus Sash?
Checking.
Is that what it is?
It has a Lumberry.
As a Lumberry. Okay, whatever, it's gone. We are actually fine. And then it's gonna switch in something. Golett, yep. Yep. So this is kind of the whole song and dance of it, is just have a Pokemon switch in, see what is my safest switch. Like, that Shadow Punch is never gonna do really that much damage. I guess not enough damage to really be super relevant. Unless it crits, which is kind of the asterisk that's on, like, everything for this run. Is that if it crits, it's actually quite bad. So this is the Hakumo we were talking about before. It has Dragon Tail. I'm going to pluck, it has a berry. A citrus berry at that. And so we'll be healed up a little bit, but it's going to switch us out.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
Don't mind if I do.
Okay, this, I mean, honestly, like, whatever gets switched in is actually just fine. Sure.
All right.
Delaying your own demise. Okay. This guy hates me.
What a freaking goober.
What? Did it just double protect?
Wow.
Okay. So, the way that protect is, I guess the way that protect works is that you protect one turn, and then if you want to hit protect a second time, it is only a 1 in 3 chance of it actually working. And because of that, the AI is actually so unlikely to go for it that I'm kind of shocked that it did.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of surprising. Okay, actually, everything's fine.
It's fine. We're good. You're good.
Not worried. You're good.
There we go.
We got Aqua Jet. Okay. And now it's the moment we've all been waiting for. This Brawly team is something. I'm gonna prep for this just for a second, but Saf, did you want to start getting into it about how how silly this is?
So Brawly is the first trainer you run into with a full team of 6 Pokemon. Every single trainer, every single gym leader in this game is going to have a legendary or a mythical or some like higher level of Pokemon, and Brawly's one for this fight is going to be Kubfu, where thank God it's not evolved into an Urshifu. The Kubfu is actually not the scariest part of this fight. There's a couple other ones that are the scariest parts. I will say the Lopunny is probably the scariest mon because it's carrying an eject button. So every time it is hit with damage,
and it's so fast.
It's so fast, and every time it is hit with it gets switched out, which is good for it because one of its moves is called Retaliate. Retaliate does increased damage after getting used after a Pokemon faints. Like after one of their friendly Pokemon faints. So, you know, Lopunny might come in after this Kubfu and just hit you with the strongest move you have ever seen. But I don't believe Lopunny is actually coming in after this. I believe Hitmontop actually switched in.
It actually might.
Let's find out. Combuskin. All right. Also,
you know, that's actually that's interesting.
Could be. It's interesting.
That's interesting. It's probably gonna use Incinerate, which as long as you, that's fine. Okay, so this Combuskin has Speed Boost, which is really scary. But we have kind of planned for this a little bit. So I'm gonna get a little bit of Fake Out damage on here, and then, I mean, I'm gonna click Spark, but it's not gonna do anything. So the one thing. Like, I'm only so particular about how certain Pokemon stats are, right? I really needed Piplup's stats to be like at least the HP and defense stats to be okay, because this Combuskin has Thunder Punch, which is awful and evil, but it should never kill here.
There we go.
Good. And then luckily Bulb Beam with all that chip damage is fine. That Combuskin is evil. And trying to Nuzlocke this fight, like that Combuskin makes stuff, it's really hard. So here's that Lopunny we were talking about. I think is just going to get rid of it.
Yep. Goodbye.
So we're just going to get rid of that eject button, get some chip damage on it. And now I have Hitmontop. I think I just want to sack to the Fake Out. Actually, Fake Out's probably not going to kill. Yeah. I'm going to just hit Pluck. That's fine.
Yeah, this Hitmontop.
Like I said, this Hitmontop has Technician, meaning that all the moves that it has are going to be boosted damage because they are low base power moves.
Yes, yeah, so it has priority with Mach Punch, its Pursuit is stronger, it's all around very scary, and Hitmontop is also a fairly tanky Pokemon, you know, until some other Intimidate users got added into Pokemon later on in the generations. It was one of the best Pokemon to be using up until, honestly, I think generation like 6 or 7. It was genuinely like a competitively viable Pokemon used on quite a few teams. And this Poliwhirl,
definitely.
also scary. Strong, has coverage out the wazoo.
Yeah, I wanted to get a Sand Attack off there just to be like 100% sure. This Eldegoss here can tank an Ice Beam and it will be fine. It's just scary. It just scares me every time. Like, usually a Grass type taking an Ice Beam would be a bit scarier than that, but like it did less than half. It can't always freeze, which makes things a lot harder. It's gonna be Lopunny again. Yeah. It's gonna use Retaliate, and we're simply going to perish, unfortunately. 07 to
Goodbye.
But we did get a speed drop, which is nice. Things may look a bit dire here, but I promise you we're actually fine. I think I just hit double kick and it's fine. Oh, that's right, I'm faster. Good. And the last Pokemon here is going to be a Scraggy. It is definitely, along with the rest of the team, just evil. This Scraggy has an Eviolite, which multiplies its defense and special defense by 1.5 times. And it also has shed skin, so any status effect that's put on it has a 1 in 3 chance of just resolving itself every turn. Which means that if I had Bort out and I used Sleep Powder, it might just not work. Luckily, I think... Oh yeah, it has Rest.
Yes. Yeah, that is the other the other scary part of the shed skin on Scraggy, is it will rest, it will put itself back up to full HP, and then it has a 1 in 3 chance of just resolving the...
But actually, it didn't do that, so is just gonna
Let's go
do that. We also have time coming up here once the screen fades to black after the battle. And there it is. We did it.
We freaking did it.
And time.
GG's. That was highly impressive because that got a little scary a couple of times there.
And you know what? That's part of it. I was thinking about it. I was like, what is the best case scenario here? Is it that everything goes well and I look like I'm talking silly about how difficult this game is, or is it everything goes wrong and it actually looks as hard as it is?
Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, one of the things with this that's so interesting is watching runs like this is so fascinating with how varied it can be. So that was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to all the donations. Shout out to Bort, and Beeg Screm. I'm glad we had a theme.
I do like our team here. This is absolutely beautiful. For both of you, I want to say thank you for ending our raid train. Where would we be able to find you if we wanted to find maybe some more Run and Bun, maybe some more Pokemon, maybe something else?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitch at Forgiven with 2 underscores afterwards, or on Blue Sky at Frogvent. I have other stuff that I'm working on, so I don't know exactly when I'm going to be working on routing the second gym for this game, but I will be doing it at some point, so if you like Pokemon, tune in. I'll be around. I'll be doing Pokemon stuff, and I'm always happy to talk about it. It's been really fun being able to show all this off. This is routing this up from scratch was a lot of work, so it's really fun to be able to get to show it off here. Saf, do you want to go?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sapphire and Pink on all platforms pretty much. You can find me pretty much anywhere where you can put my name in like that I'm on. I am very excited. I will also say I'm going to be doing Titanfall 2 all helmets for Frost Fatales on the finale night, Saturday March 14th, and Forgiven here will also be on commentary for that.
Hey.
Very, very excited for that. Very, very excited to show off some Titanfall.
That's going to be awesome.
So
thanks. Oh god.
I was gonna say, if you enjoy listening to the two of us commentate in a finale run, that's incredibly specific, but you're in luck. Come by Frost Fatales in about a month.
Yeah. And I just want to say.
No, I was just.
Oh, I'm just gonna go. I want to thank you all so much for the raid train was a really cool event. Forgiven, thank you for having me on for the final little bit of this raid train. Thank you all for the folks who donated for this. Lady Arcaders is really, really cool. It means the world to me. This community is so amazing. And I just wanted to thank all of you guys watching, all of you guys who donated, everyone who participated in the raid train. And I want to thank you, Ufi, for hosting for us. I really appreciate you too.
I want to thank y'all for this amazing run. I've learned more about Pokemon here than I have in many times that I've tried to learn about Pokemon. So I really appreciate that personally. And also, y'all really should tune in. Everyone in chat watching, you should tune in for Frost Finales, which I am now calling that. Your run is now Frost Finales because that works so well, because y'all are amazing, and this has been just such a great run. But we are going to take a quick little break before we send y'all over to some other amazing gamers. So let's get up, let's stretch our muscles if possible, let's grab a drink and a snack, and we will be back in just a few moments, everyone. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you got a little bit of a stretch in on your muscles before we send you off to raid one of our fellow arcaders, Abby's Corner, who is playing some Yakuza. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about the next time on Attract Mode, because giddy up, Cowpoke, Red Dead Redemption 2 Horseshoe Overlook will be on our next showcase. On Thursday, February 19th at 9 p.m., Laszlo will be taking a rootin' tootin' cowpoke shootin' adventure, and we hope to see you there, partner. And as always, we would love to hear about you for your awesome showcases. Submissions for Attract Mode showcases are always open. Type !AM in chat for more information. I hope y'all had a fantastic evening and a fantastic time. We will see y'all soon on our next showcase, but we're going to send you over to Abby's Corner now for some Yakuza. So let's get going with a little bit of warning, incoming game. Warning, incoming game.